He only took a glance at the customers in the cafe but immediately sensed that something was wrong. Then he rummaged through the trash bin, picking up empty soda cans and drilling holes into each one. He threaded them together with fishing line, creating a makeshift alarm system. When night fell, he got out of bed quickly, grabbed his weapon, and silently moved toward the door. The cans on this floor were still intact, so the noise must have come from downstairs. He turned off his flashlight, stepped barefoot onto the floor, and tried to move without making a sound. But just as he reached the lower floor, a piercing scream erupted behind him. It turned out his dog had discovered the intruder. He couldn't afford to panic and continued advancing carefully, knowing he couldn't be sure how many enemies there were in the dark. The dog was silenced in an instant.
You want to tell me your name?
And the intruder clenched his teeth, refusing to utter a word. That fearless silence was something he knew all too well. He searched the man's body and found only a dagger and a pistol, no communication device, so there was no way to trace who sent him. He grabbed the man's still warm hand and fired 2 shots at the wall in front of him. Immediately after, he called the police, claiming that someone had broken into his home and there had been casualties. He deliberately made his voice tremble and his breathing rapid, sounding exactly like a frightened old man. In this way, within minutes, he staged the perfect illusion of a home invasion. The story had many flaws, but it was the only plan he could come up with at that moment. As expected, the police noticed inconsistencies. The dead man was well dressed, nothing like a vagrant robber. Even worse, his pistol was equipped with a silencer, clearly the weapon of a professional assassin. Confronted with suspicion, he was momentarily at a loss for words. Although he had once been a top agent, 20 years of retirement had dulled his edge. Still, the 2 officers seemed more inclined to believe the frail old man before them and even helped him justify his story. Though the crisis had passed, he knew it was no longer safe to stay. So he found an excuse to leave. Once granted permission, he went to his bedroom, opened a hidden compartment, and took out several passports and stacks of cash. For decades, it was through these multiple identities that he had managed to remain hidden from the world.